Hello, welcome to another Quarantine Cuisine, a recipe for disaster. Tonight we're going to be cooking Katsu curry with a recipe that was given to me by my brother-in-law who works for Wagamama's, which is a chain of, well, it's fusion cooking. It does Japanese, Chinese, Oriental, beautiful food. And one of their favourites on their menu is Katsu curry, so I've got their recipe. First we're going to do, we're going to butterfly some chicken breast, so you need to come in close for this.
Can you say a special hello to Rose?
Hello Rose. Please give me your Texas chili recipe. That sounds fantastic. Okay, so we've got chicken breasts here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off any of the wibbly bits. Okay, these haven't got any of those sort of big fillets on. We're just going to cut off any of the loose bits, and then holding it flat on the board, my palm flat on top of it, I'm going to take my knife, thickest part in, I'm just going to slice in and carefully, slowly cut down, open it up, and then take down the middle there to butterfly it out. Okay. What we're next going to do is hammer these flat, and then we're going to breadcrumb those, but I'll show you those next.
What sort of knives have we got?
Knives. These are global knives, which are sort of decent entry-level civilian, almost chefy knives. They're not sort of the highest quality, but they're really, really good. I must have had these for nearly 20 years.
I remember us going to buy them. So yeah.
Yeah, I've had them for a long time, and they're brilliant. I keep them nice and sharp, and they're great. They're really good quality knives. I could spend a fortune on a good kitchen knife. I really could, given half a chance.
I always say to Dave that if I ever leave him, I'm taking the dog and the good knives.
What?
And he gets the kids.
Well, they're my knives. You don't even sharpen them.
Well, that's what I've got you for. There's no point having a dog and barking yourself.
It's not a dog, it's a knife. So next what we're going to do is we're going to flatten out the chicken breasts a bit. We're not going to go Wiener Schnitzel thin. I still want plenty of sort of thick meat in this. We're just going to make sure it's an even thickness. So I've got one of these, which is a tenderizing mallet. You absolutely can just use rolling pin if you want to. You can put a sheet of cling film on top of it to hammer it flat to sort of stop the mess. I don't care. Okay. So here's another little kitchen tip, by the way. Clean hand only handles the tool, dirty hand handles the food, okay? Just makes everything a bit easier, especially when we come to the breadcrumbing later on, okay? So, chicken breast goes down. And that's about it. I'm not making it enormous like a Wiener Schnitzel. I'm not hammering it wafer thin. I'm just making sure it's about an even thickness. Okay. Now what we'll do is take a clean hand, sheet of baking paper, and dirty hand. Chicken goes on top of it. Okay. Dirty hand, new chicken, butterfly breast, clean hand on the tool. Okay. Next, we're going to be doing the breadcrumbing of the chicken, and we've got three things we need to do it properly. We've got flour.
Seasoned?
No, nothing seasoned at the moment. We're going to season during and after the cooking.
Okay.
So nothing seasoned at the moment. We've got the flour, we've got the egg, and we've got the breadcrumbs. So the breadcrumbs we just made ourselves, stale bread, whizzed up. The flour, this is self-raising flour. Plain flour is better, but plain flour cannot be bought in the UK at all at the moment. What people are doing with it, I can't even begin to imagine.
Turns out we're a nation of bakers in crisis.
I think they're making toilet paper out of it. It's the only logical explanation. So it doesn't really matter that much. We've got two different hands here that we're going to do two different jobs with to stop getting really gunked up. So I'm going to use my left hand only to take the chicken and get it in the flour. Pat it down. shake any of the excess off. And then I'm going to take, using my flour hand, my left hand, that goes into the egg wash. But now I'm going to use my other hand. So this hand only gets the flour. This hand's going to get the egg and the breadcrumbs on. So I'm going to end up with a clean hand and a dirty hand. The parchment that I used earlier on, I'm going to bring over here, there's my plate. And on it goes like that. So again, flour hand, doesn't get gunked up. Drench it with flour, make sure the whole thing's covered so there's no spots of a bird that has not been covered. Chicken's great for this, obviously, it's a classic, chicken katsu curry. I'm sure you could use something else as well. Badger, aardvark,
Flesh
armadillo.
of your enemies.
And then I've got my egg and breadcrumb hand for the other side. Take my parchment across. And so it goes. We're going to do the rest now, and then we're going to make the katsu curry sauce. Hello. Okay, so curry sauce. I'm going to show you the ingredients. I'm going to show you me putting the onions in, and we'll talk about how the rest of the sauce will be put together, and then we'll do another bit of filming where it shows it all sort of coming together. Okay, so we have ingredients list. Onions, 2 onions, chopped up nice and small. Garlic, lots of, because I like it.
You measure garlic with your heart, not according to the recipe.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. I have an enormous heart full of garlic. And then we've got some ginger, which Zoe grated with only a few of her knuckles. So this is ginger and knuckle compote. Okay. We have some chicken stock. These are just chicken stock cubes this time. I've run out of bone broth. Sad times. This is coconut milk, 2 tins of coconut milk. This is my rum and coke to keep me sane. We've got some soy sauce. We've got turmeric powder. We've got mixed curry powder. This is a mild curry powder, so it's not spicy. We've got some sugar. This happens to be brown sugar because it's the first thing I'll grab from the cupboard. And we've got some flour here to thicken the sauce. Okay, so we've got a reasonable amount of ingredients to cook here. So we do want a reasonable amount of oil. You can use any oil you want to. We don't want to cook this on a high heat. If we're doing some beautiful Indian cooking, we'd want a high heat to really brown the onions because it sort of helps give it its fantastic flavour. Of course, we're going a bit more oriental here. We want the onions, but we don't want them browned off. I'll come this side. So in the onions go. Trusty spoon, I made this. And we're going to cook these on a medium heat, stirring often until they are soft and translucent. I don't want them browned. See you in a bit. Okay, good. So, come this way. The onions have been sweated down, so they are soft, translucent, which is a posh word for saying you can see through them, but they're not taking on any real colour. So into that, we're going to add the ginger and the garlic. And I'm going to cook that down for a couple of minutes as well, and talk about how much I like rum. No, I'm not. I'm going to talk about how we're actually cooking way much more than we need to. So I'm going to make a bucket of katsu curry sauce, and over there we've got, I think, 8 or 10 chicken breasts enormous ones from Costco that we've cooked as well, prepared as well, because then we can freeze this and we've got meals ready for the next time. It takes as much time to cook double as it does to cook a regular amount.
Because we cook from scratch every day.
Every day.
Which is fine, but with all 5 of us home all of the time, 3 meals a day, that's an awful lot of washing up.
God, I mean, we've spent our lives in the kitchen, haven't we, this
So
past week?
when we have the ingredients to do it, we'll cook double and then put the rest in the freezer, and that means we have one slightly easier day, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I'd love to be able to buy in the future would be a chest freezer, and that way we can actually just freeze en masse stuff, so that'd be quite good to have. What have you got in the freezer? You've got some curry sauce made up already, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
So yeah, if you can cook double, it just makes life so much easier, or cook triple or whatever you need. So I've had the garlic and the ginger in here for a couple of minutes. I don't put the garlic in at the same time as the onions. The garlic tends to burn quite easily, and when it burns, it takes on quite a bitter taste. So garlic and ginger have been cooking down for a while. Into that, I'm going to add the herbs and spices. So we've got the curry sauce.
Curry powder.
Curry powder. We're making curry sauce. Rum. Rum's great.
Did we mention the rum?
Did we mention, where has all the rum gone?
In Dave's belly.
In my belly. We've got the turmeric. We've got a little bit of sugar. I'm going to put half in for now. And we've got the flour. The flour is a thickener. So it's going to make the sauce thicker and rich and beautiful. So all that goes in.
A bit like me.
Rich and beautiful.
Thick, rich and beautiful.
Certainly thick and beautiful.
2 out of 3 is not bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep filming your elbow.
So what we've got now is we've got this basically roux paste. So a roux sauce is flour cooked in fat and then stock or milk or whatever you want added to it. And pretty much every culture of cooking uses a roux sauce in one form or another. This happens to be a Japanese sauce, but I believe Katsu curry is a fairly recent invention. I'm not even sure if it is Japanese, it might be American. When you're cooking with flour, you need to sort of cook it off for a little bit. So for about a minute or two, I'm just going to stir this to cook off the flour, and it gets rid of that kind of floury taste. So I've got a paste here at the moment. Okay. The heat's on quite low. I'm going to keep stirring, make sure that the spices don't burn and become like a bitter, acrid taste. And I don't want the flour to burn either, but I want it to cook off. If you can see here, at the bottom of the pan, there's kind of stuck bits of residue from the spices, mainly the turmeric. And that's kind of the oils coming out of the spices, which is absolutely perfect. What we're going to do now is we're going to add the stock. Now, because this has got flour in it, I'm going to take it off the heat and just add a little bit of the stock. And then stir that to thicken. And that way...
Smelling good already.
It smells really good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That way, by doing it off the heat, the flour won't cook immediately and get all lumpy and grainy. Add the stock, a bit more this time, stir it in, and it's turned already from a paste into a very thick sauce. But it's a nice uniform thickness. It's not clumped, it's not all lumpy. And that's because we cooked the flour off first and we added the stock off the heat.
Yeah, don't be tempted to rush this bit, or you'll end up having to take a whisk to it.
Yeah. Now, to be honest with you, it's not going to matter anyway, because we're actually going to blend all this with the stick blender at the end of it. Katsu curry is a smooth sauce. Zoe's been at the gym, so I think she almost tripped over the bin just then. We're going to have the rest of this. And we can put it back onto the heat now. We can actually turn the heat up a little bit. As this heats up naturally, the sauce will continue to thicken. Come on in a bit so you can see. There we go. So it's this beautiful yellow-brown colour. What would you call that? It's not mustard.
I would call that meconium, for those that have had children. That is meconium yellow.
What's meconium? Oh, yeah, I remember meconium. Good, yeah, okay. Well, that's not quite suitable for this. Okay.
Let's call it a mustard yellow.
We're going to make it off meconium now. We're going to add some soy sauce. Again, I'm going to add half. Stir that in. I've added half the sugar and I've added half the soy sauce. Because what I want to do is be able to taste this as I go and adjust the seasoning. You can always add more, you can't take it back out. Okay, so that's lovely and thick. To this, we're going to add the coconut milk. You can get block coconut, which is absolutely fine. You just need to add some extra water to it. Okay, so here we go. Gorgeous yellow colour. No longer the colour of fresh baby poo. Can't believe you brought that up, that's horrible.
Well, you asked me a question.
Well, I was hoping for something artistic.
Yeah, sorry about that. It was totally meconium colour.
I've got my clean teaspoon. I'll take a little taste.
Bear in mind you haven't whizzed it yet, so there'll be more onions and garlic to go into it.
That's really good. Okay, it's really good. It does need a bit more soy sauce. It does need the rest of that sugar. And I am going to add a good pinch of salt. Now again, it looks like a lot, but we've got about 2-3 litres of fluid, probably 3 litres of water here, 3 litres of fluid here, so it's the right amount. Stir that in. We're looking for a nice consistency here, a good sort of thickness of sauce, so when we pour it over the cooked chicken, it's not just going to fall off it and fill the plate like soup. I want it to be able to coat the crispy chicken. Alright, so we're going to get to cooking chicken now. I've got my trusty cast iron frying pan here that Zoe hates with a passion.
Hate the pan.
Tell them why.
It weighs a metric crap ton and it is not even non-stick. What is the point? And the handle's too short and it makes my wrists hurt. Anyway.
She's wrong. This is a fantastic thing. Okay, so I've got some vegetable oil in here and I've got some beef dripping. Normally you deep fry this. We have not got a deep fat fryer, so we can't. So we're going to shallow fry instead. But you still need a lot of fat for this, just because the breadcrumbs are going to soak it all up.
Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Can you use a splatter guard because I've only just wiped down the hob?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
Okay, well, just because it's you.
I thought you were going to say it makes the internal atmosphere of the frying pan too wet or something weird.
Well, it might. Oh, here is the finished curry sauce that we've blended down with the stick blender. What does it taste like, Zoe?
Tastes amazing. We did chuck a bit more curry powder in it. It's a sort of a to taste thing.
Adjust to taste.
We fancied a bit more.
Now, here's the thing you've got to do now. We don't want this on a really high heat. So we've got this on a medium heat. I've got my first chicken breast. Clean hand, dirty hand. In it goes. Make sure it's laid down flat. Don't touch it for 5 minutes. Don't move it around, don't turn it over, don't stir it, don't poke it, don't play with it.
Walk away, people.
Leave it be. Okay, it needs to be on a medium heat, not too high. Okay, and you're just going to let it be. Okay, that way it's less likely to stick to the bottom of the pan. But also, you don't need to mess around with this. You just need to let it cook. So you don't just toss it, chef fancy around with it. Okay, no touching, except remember we've not seasoned this yet, so it needs salt and it needs pepper. And then it needs leaving the hell alone. What you can do, come in closer, every now and again, just peel back a bit. That's starting to brown quite quickly, so I'm just going to turn the temperature down a little bit. And from the side, you can sort of start to see a cook line coming up. Now we've cooked these quite quickly in this pan, and we've also hammered them nice and flat. So they won't take too long to cook. In a deep fat fryer, you're probably looking at 3 minutes, and it's done. When it floats, it's done. I'm just going to keep an eye on this. I want it golden brown, not black. But I'm not going to mess around with it.
We'll be back in a couple of minutes then, I
Back in a
suppose.
couple of minutes. So, come closer. We've still got some more we're cooking off. Here's one in the pan on a sort of low to medium heat. That's nearly done. But we do have hungry children. So here is one, what we made earlier. So we're going to cut this on the diagonal. And this goes onto the plate. We've got some lovely rice which we cooked earlier on.
Oh, you're going to do fancy?
Really fancy. This is called a timbal of rice. Just like so. And then we've got the katsu curry. We'll put some over the chicken. We'll put some over the rice. And ladies and gentlemen, there we have chicken katsu curry, cooked from scratch. Only took about 2.5 hours. Absolutely fine. Really, really good. Thank you very much. Bon appetit.